Hey guys, Stay Patient here with yet another trophy related top 10. Now recently we've been talking a lot about the easiest and fastest PS4 Platinums for games you might not be familiar with, and that series is going to continue, don't worry, so keep your eye out for part 4 of that one, and all my trophy related top 10s are kept in one playlist which will be linked at the end of this video, so you'll be able to go back and check out any that you missed, and also keep up with any new ones. But you know, money doesn't grow on trees, does it? Especially around this time of year. So I figured today we give your wallets a break and focus on some of the easiest PS4 Platinums that have been free for PlayStation Plus members at some point. Now of course the majority of you will have a PS Plus membership by now because it's required to be able to play online on the PS4, so hopefully as long as you've remembered to download or add these games to your library when they were free, you'll still have access to the majority if not all of the titles that we're going to be discussing in these lists. Of course not all of you have had PlayStation Plus since the PS4 released, so with that in mind I put these in order of when they were added to the Instant Game Collection, and I put timestamps in the description to represent those dates so you can have a look through and figure out which of these games you will have had access to. And hopefully we can introduce you to a lot of games that you may have forgotten are already on your download list, and we can earn you a nice lot of easy and free trophies. Now part 2 of this video is going to be focusing on the free games from 2016, this year, but in part 2 we're going to be looking at 2014 and 15, so let's dive in to the list. All the way back in July 2014 we were given free access to Strider, an awesome fast-paced 2D Metroidvania style hack and slash platformer. That's quite a mouthful. I'd actually already bought this game but enjoyed it so much that I didn't mind. I was quite happy for the developers, Double Helix Games, to receive my well-deserved money. Despite its difficulty rating receiving an average vote of 4 out of 10 on PlayStationTrophies.org, there are still a fair few people who found this rather tricky, especially some of the boss fights which do require good timing and reaction speeds. So take into account your own skill level with these types of games when deciding whether to go for it. But with it being free for those of you who have been a PS Plus member for long enough, there's no real loss if you just play it on a blank account first to be sure, then sync it when you're done. At around 10 hours completion time, it's a nice quick one too. Dust, an Elysian Tale, a game that has a lot in common with Strider, was released as an Xbox 360 exclusive back in 2012. Thankfully though, we received access to it on the PS4 as a free download in October 2014. This game is awesome, and when you experience it knowing that it was actually designed and developed by just one man, you'll literally go looking for proof as it's just so hard to believe. Projects like this really put things into perspective when we see the huge development studios putting out subpar games. Dust has 2D hack and slash elements too, but unlike Strider it's also an RPG, which will likely make it appeal to more people. The characters, voice acting, and just the world in general are all extremely well realised and a joy to behold. The gameplay is fast, fluid and intuitive with just the right amount of depth. There's enough of a challenge to keep it from getting boring, but it is an easy enough platinum at around a 3 out of 10 in difficulty. It will take you anywhere between 10 and 20 hours, and you'll enjoy every moment. Sony kicked 2015 off with a bang by giving us access to infamous First Light during January. This was of course the spin-off from Second Son, and if you ask me, both games are much better than they're given credit for. Their gameplay was just about as good as it gets. Faster, smoother and just more fun than almost anything else out there. Sure, they're not very long games, but as trophy hunters we thrive on these enjoyable but shorter titles. With that being said though, First Light does include some extra content not present in Second Son. It plays more to the series' strengths by providing us with an arena mode that focuses purely on the near-perfect gameplay. And the storytelling in this follow-up is more compelling as well. It's nice seeing and being able to play through the origin of one of the more interesting characters from Second Son. This platinum is another 3 out of 10 when it comes to difficulty, and it's a nice quick one too, with the majority of people able to finish it off in less than 10 hours. We were treated the following month, February 2015, with 2 games that earn a place on our list. First up, APOTHEON, which you may remember being a game everyone saw as an easy platinum until they realised there were glitches causing some of the trophies to be unobtainable. For this reason, many of you may have steered clear and eventually forgotten about it. Well, despite it having issues with crashing occasionally, everything trophy related is working now. And the game even contains a positive glitch that makes the platinum quicker and easier if you set it up correctly. I didn't enjoy this one as much as many of the others in this list, but it's certainly not a bad game, and I'm sure it will appeal to a lot of you guys more than it did to me. It's yet another 2D game with RPG elements and lots of slower, more deliberate combat, as well as plenty of interesting puzzles and collectibles to find. If you use the glitch outlined in the trophy guide linked in the description, then you'll find it's around a 3 out of 10 in difficulty and will take you roughly 12 hours. The second easy PS Plus freebie from February 2015 is still one of my favourite games on the PS4. Transistor is from Supergiant Games, the creators of Bastion, which has finally also made its way to PlayStation after spending a while as a PC exclusive. A fun bit of trivia actually. You GameSpot fans out there may remember Greg Kasavin, who was the site's director, executive editor, and did a lot of their video reviews. Well, he left GameSpot to start up Supergiant Games, and we're now very glad he did. Transistor is a unique game that really needs to be played to be understood. It has a great soundtrack and art style, but the best thing about it is its superb customization model. You receive things called functions as you go through the game. They can be equipped as an actual weapon, of which you can have 4, or in one of each weapon's 4 upgrade slots to change the way it behaves. Or finally, you can use them as passive upgrades for your character. It's so much fun combining functions together in unique and interesting ways and seeing what crazy combinations you can come up with. The possibilities are almost endless. I really hope other games utilise and expand upon this ingenious way of approaching in-game customization. The trophy difficulty is around a 3 or 4, and to earn the platinum you'll need to spend around 10 hours or so with this underappreciated masterpiece. In May 2015, Ether 1 was added to the Instant Game Collection. This is the first title we've come across that has already shown up in a previous top 10, specifically part 1 of the easiest and fastest PS4 Platinums that you've never played. It's a puzzle game that's super easy if you follow a guide, taking less than 5 hours and sporting a 2 out of 10 difficulty rating on PlayStationTrophies.org. There's a lot more to the story than expected if you pay attention to it. The puzzles you're solving are in aid of piecing together the memories of a woman suffering with dementia. So if you enjoy games with a deeper, more abstract meaning, then be sure to take in the game's subtle narrative. As with several of the games we've discussed so far, Super Exploding Zoo was free immediately upon release in June 2015. Much like APOTHEON though, it had serious trophy glitches from day one, locking people out of the platinum. So once again, you may have moved on and forgotten all about this one, but now the trophy glitches have been fixed, it's a 2 out of 10 difficulty and takes somewhere between 6 and 10 hours at the most, with it being possible to finish it quicker. It's so fast in fact that it only just missed out on earning a spot in part 3 of the easiest and fastest platinums list. The concept itself is kind of interesting. You walk around each level collecting groups of creatures that all have different abilities. You then use their abilities to kill enemies and gain access to more creatures until you've collected them all. It's not a great game I wouldn't say, but it's playable and is another nice quick, easy and hopefully free platinum. In September 2015 we were given TESLAGRAD, a game that did earn a place in my first easiest and fastest top 10 video. To earn the platinum you simply have to grab all the collectibles. You don't even need to finish the game once you've done so. Be warned though that this is another title that many find relatively difficult, so its suitability for you personally will depend on your experience with 2D platformers. This is clearly seen from the fact that although the average difficulty rating is clearly a 4 out of 10, there are lots of votes all up and down the scale. Really though, it's so quick, being possible to finish in less than an hour, that even if you do struggle with some parts and take much longer than expected, you'll eventually manage it and realise looking back that it was still among the fastest platinums you've ever earned. October 2015 saw Broken Age join our game collections. This is among the large collection of point-and-click adventures that have experienced quite a revival on PS4. It's one of many well-regarded releases Double Fine Productions have put out over the years, with the kind of strange, interesting and occasionally funny story we've come to expect from Tim Schafer's projects. If you follow a guide or walkthrough such as the one linked in the description, then the difficulty level is a 1 or 2 out of 10. It's a little longer than many similar point-and-click games, but can be finished in less than 10 hours. To ensure not to spoil anything for such a story-driven game, I'm going to avoid sharing a trailer for the final title on this list, which needs no introduction anyway due to being so famous amongst gamers and especially trophy hunters. It is somewhat out of place on this list, however. That's because it doesn't have a platinum trophy, and I apologise for that seeing as this is after all a platinum-based top 10. But the reason I've included The Walking Dead Season 2, which was a PS Plus freebie during November 2015, is because its trophies provide practically the same number of PSN points as a platinum trophy set. As I'm sure you're aware, bronze trophies are worth 15 points, silver's 30, gold's 90, and platinums come in at 180. The PSN points are what level up your trophy level, and a full platinum list amounts to around 1,100 up to 1,280-ish points. Well, The Walking Dead Season 2 trophies, despite not including a platinum, amount to 1,035 points, so I figured it was worth adding to the list due to its very high trophy return for a non-platinum game. It barely needs stating that this is of course a 1 out of 10 difficulty and can be finished in around 8 hours or so. It's a quality game with a great story though, so if you have it in your library, don't let the lack of an actual platinum put you off. So there we have it guys, a real varied list of 10 games that most of you may have forgotten are already on your download list. So jump on and you can earn some trophies without having to spend a penny. Thanks for watching guys, as always, don't forget to check out all the other top 10s and keep your eye out for more videos in this playlist. And also check out the weekly Trophy Hunters update. It's a show during which we take a look at all the most recent releases and the upcoming releases as well, and we find a lot of those easy platinums before anyone else knows about them. So if you want to be ahead of the curve, then join us on Sunday or Monday each week for that video. And again, thanks very much for watching, thanks for all the support on the channel guys. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.